Hey guys, this is Ori Anime. Welcome to another video of that time I got reincarnated as a slime. In this video we will review the web novel chapter 171, Clash. Storm Dragon vs Scorch Dragon Part 1. Keep in mind, this is from web novel series, it is considered not canon and also has very different content from the light novel. If you haven't watched the previous chapter, you can find the link in the description below. Disclaimer: I used other anime as reference for some characters and scenes because there are some of the Tensura characters has very few appearance and the other has not revealed yet. And before we will start, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification for upcoming videos. Veldora, comfortably soaring through the skies, tried increasing his speed slightly. Compared to when he was sealed, having better control of his magic now, his flying speed has increased. Kuahahahaha. Superb. This is a superb speed, he said, getting carried away. Using the knowledge gleaned from the scriptures that Rimuru possessed, Veldora tweaked using logic here and there and produced great results. His magic swirled inside his body, without leaks. It is now possible to use magic of a higher quality. Better results, with less work. Learning beside Rimuru, there were many things he wanted to try out. Molding it, increase the concentration through focus, and then explosively releasing it on a single point. The true nature of Veldora's power was chaos. For Veldora, whose total energy levels are actually much higher than either of his two elder sisters, not needing to be conscious of the fact was impossible. And that was the gist of putting effort into combat styles, the reason to search for the efficient use of power. It wouldn't be something to be conscious of for beings that wield great power. Unconsciously learning how to control magic while playing around in human form, this resulted in Veldora gaining combat power incomparable to his past self. Veldora himself only felt lighter somewhat, being unaware of the difference. Focused, Veldora attempted to fly at full force. At that moment, his body began to use a more appropriate form, and he could easily surpass the speed of sound. The fastest of the four that already has true dragons is Velgrin's Scorch Dragon. But for now, Veldora can achieve the speed that can rival the fastest. Because of reaching this speed that he had never reached before, unknowingly, he quickly approached the Empire's aerial fleet. Hey, Veldora, the Empire's straight ahead, you're gonna run right into them if you keep going like that. He was already within 1 hour away from contact, when he received Rimuru's message through telepathy. Seeing the slightly panicking Rimuru, Veldora's thoughts became composed. Wait a sec, the Empire was headed for Rumina's, but couldn't this be his time to shine? Having finally gotten something of a power-up, wouldn't this be fitting opportunity to test things out? Even if I defeated all the enemies here without working together with Rumina's, it wouldn't be a problem, right? Such thoughts went through his mind. Kuahahaha. Be at ease, Rimuru. Leave it to me. I'll repel that Imperial army. Will that be alright? Yeah, no problem. This is a long-awaited chance to go all out. Don't worry, just watch. Saying that, he ended the telepathy message with Rimuru. From Veldora's perspective, Rimuru was always cautious. For Veldora, the Imperial troops had nothing to fear. Aiming to end the fight immediately, he even increased the speed of his flight. The Empire's aerial legion proceeded. Their number was 300 ships. Not much of a problem. Maintaining his current speed, he felt he could win just by ramming at the opposition while wearing hyper energy. But maybe it's better to tell them to give up first, so he stops before contacting. Just the aftershock of him stopping mid-flight caused the airships at the front of the fleet to jolt immensely. Destroying the fleet seemed to be an easy task. Kuahahaha. Fools of the Empire. I am Veldora, Storm Dragon, Veldora. If you stop your invasion now, I will let you retreat peacefully. You may respond now, Veldora loudly proclaimed to the Empire through telepathy. This act of warning was something that would have never crossed Veldora's mind in the past. Living alongside Rimuru, not only his power but even his concept of thinking had changed. Well, the scriptures, manga, knowledge probably had more of an influence. On the other hand, the circumstances for the Empire differed significantly. The higher-ranking officers had already been informed of the fact that the entire army that was sent to subjugate the Great Jura Forest had been wiped out. As for the regular soldiers, they couldn't contain their restlessness after seeing Veldora, who wasn't supposed to be there. As for their superiors, the Beast Corps Commander, Gradim, and Major General Zam are located on the same airship in the middle of the fleet. This ship has a more luxurious build compared to the others, and there are 300 of the remaining elite mages on board, which means their defense barriers are of a higher quality. This was the expectation for the ship by the leaders of the expeditionary forces. In addition, Velgrund was also on board. As a proxy for the Emperor, he was the highest in the chain of command. Zamd spoke up in place of Gradim. Grind Dono, what shall be our course of action? Velgrund smiled wryly, and answered with another question. Zamd, are we able to fire the magic canceller currently? Also, it doesn't seem enough, but how much of a fight can we put up with the forces currently on hand? Let's see. We didn't think there would be an air battle, we don't have enough mages for this. Our opponent is that Veldora, so our current forces just won't be enough. We would be able to perform better if we had, say, 100 ships with 400 elites on each. Transport ships aren't gonna do much against Veldora, huh? Very well, not much choice, I will go then. You all should hurry and withdraw from the battle zone. What, do you intend to go alone? Gradim was shocked at Velgrian's words. She glanced back and, yes. It's good that I came along with the expedition. Even Rudra couldn't have foreseen these turn of events. Assemble those who can use the magic cancellers and reform our composition. Do this swiftly while I buy time. Make sure to be able to fire anytime, and aim for the moment I create an opportunity. Fire the moment I give the signal. Understood? This should already be obvious. Get in contact with Rudra. If you understand, then hurry and get to work. I'll be heading out. Gradim was stunned, and couldn't compute the orders, but Velgrund paid him no heed, and opened the bridge doors. She opened the doors with no hesitation and flew out toward the skies. As Gradim thought of that, he lost all words at the scene before his eyes. Velgrund flew out to the skies, and, after a brief flash of red light, transformed into her dragon mode in a dazzling display of cardinal aura. Gradim came back to his senses after Zam's surprised outburst, and immediately said, I shall contact the Emperor. Hurry up and reform the ranks. You all heard what Velgrund Sama said. Assemble the mages, land the remaining ships down to the ocean. The voice brought the soldiers back to their senses. Their hearts were momentarily stolen by the otherworldly beauty of the shining scarlet dragon. To face the despair brought by the appearance of Veldora, the legendary guardian of the Empire had taken form, so it couldn't be helped that the soldiers got caught up in the moment. For the soldiers who were mesmerized by the advent of Scorch Dragon, Velgrund, it brought them back to reality. That's right, our guardian dragon is with us. There's nothing to be afraid of. With Velgrund Sama on our side, there's no way we can lose. Morale rose instantly for the Empire soldiers. As she looked ahead, Veldora seemed to be surprised and had gotten stiff. He probably thought he could do a full sweep of the fleet with a single blast of his breath. A reunion of siblings since time immemorial. Before he was sealed, during the times where Veldora was out rampaging around, Velgrund was already Emperor Rudra's partner, and had laid dormant in the Empire. Being frozen by their elder sister Velzerd every so often, it had been 2,000 years since his last meeting with Velgrund. Their meeting had caused the emergence of a volcanic region, as the powers of the true dragons clashed. She would take her time to slowly teach him how to use his powers, after getting him onto their side. Now, anything could happen. Velgrund would pin Veldora down. Then, with the right opportunity, make full use of the magic cancellers and restrain Veldora. After that, they would turn Veldora into one of their own with Emperor Rudra's regalia dominion. It would have taken a lot of effort to lure him out from under Demon Lord Rimuru, but the current circumstances were much more convenient. Though unexpected, this had become the perfect chance to bring Veldora to their side. The goal of defeating Ruminas to obtain the method of bringing up Holy Knights, the soul-rending system, would probably end up unneeded. The end to their eternally drawn-out game felt within reach. A victory for Velgrund and Emperor Rudra drew closer. Back to the problem at hand, first was to capture Veldora. Making the best use of this chance, his capture was imperative in making their victory a reality. Velgrund slowly flew towards Veldora, with these thoughts. Because of his shock, many of his movements stiffened. It's time to get serious. It's hard to escape. The reason is simple, Velgrund is the fastest among the true dragons. With a polished fighting style, one can feel that he is just fast in his looks. It doesn't look good. Competing in speed is a moot action, and for fighting, the current location is nice. If he ended up destroying Rumina's country again, he felt that he would surely be chased until his last breath. Seeing his elder sister Velgrund ally with the Empire was a little unexpected. It would have been possible to clean up this fleet of dinky airships with a single blast of breath, Veldora thought. And earning a favor from the Ruminas in the process, he wants her to forget about the past destruction of her country. It would have been a great opportunity, but life was never that easy. Oh well, it seemed Velgrund was all gung-ho about this, so he would follow suit. Even though they hadn't led it as enthusiastically before, he felt that Velgrund was slightly over the top. But that's just the past now. Veldora gained new powers, with help from Rimuru. Kuahahahaha. How about I see what I'm capable of, with this elder sister of mine as the opponent? With such thoughts, Veldora felt more motivated. Veldora put his focus on Velgrand, and entered his battle stance. And so, a battle of the current century between true